In this tutorial we're going to look at how to import terrain overlay images, terrain height maps and plan images into the Precinct Planner. To import data we will access the Terrain tab. Before we import a terrain color map, let's have a look at some of the associated functions in this tab. You can set the grid size to whatever size you prefer. The default is 1 meter. You can choose to toggle the grid on or off. You can also set the extents of the working environment and, if you have a terrain height map, the height as well. Firstly, we'll import an aerial photograph overlay image. Go to the terrain color map and click on Load. Navigate to where you have your overlay image and select it. Now that the image has been loaded, we need to set it to the correct scale. In this instance, we will use the Scale Wizard. You can zoom in and out using the mouse wheel and pan around by holding the middle mouse button down as you pan the scene. Navigate to a place in your image where you know the distance between two known points. In this image we conveniently have a scale bar. Click the Scale Wizard button, then click on the first known point. In this case we're clicking on the 0. Finally click on the second known point and enter the distance in the dialog box, in this case 250 meters. You will notice that the image has now been rescaled to reflect the correct scale of the environment. We will now load a terrain height map by clicking on the Load button in the Terrain Height Map section. Once again, navigate to your height map and select it. The map will appear in the thumbnail view. Set the height of the terrain in the Height input box. In the case of this height map, we know that the maximum terrain height is 10 meters from the lowest point to the highest point. By switching to 3D view, you can see that the terrain has been generated. Finally, we will now import and overlay the plan files. Follow the same procedure as previously for locating your plan files and loading them. You can adjust the opacity of the plan overlay from being completely transparent to solid using the plan opacity slider bar. This concludes the importing ground layers tutorial. In the next tutorial we'll be looking at how to build and edit development blocks.